Happy magic freaking Friday, right? Who's quite happy that it's Friday? Hey, look, I'm trying to just do some cool. Hey, how's this for a filter? Do you think people would take me seriously if I did? Anyway, sorry, I've been silly on filters. I actually am not too worried about whether it's Saturday, Monday, or Sunday. Like, I totally love and are in full alignment with what I do, that I actually have to close my office door and almost lock it so that I have one day out of my business. So on a Saturday, I'll step right away from business and then get back into it on a Sunday afternoon, right? Because I love so much about what I do. Here's the thing, though, and I often preach as my pencil's coming out, which means I mean business. This is one of the things I want to just want to talk to you about. Hey, Kevin, gorgeous, how are you? You gotta have bad days. People say to me, Nat, you're so positive. I'm like, yes, but please do not think that I don't have a bad day. Just this last week, I probably had a bit of a bad week. In terms of my own energy, in terms of my own mindset, and in terms of I've been tired this week, and I really often at times don't know how to deal with tiredness because I'm a very energetic person. But sometimes I understand that tiredness comes from numerous areas. What I've learned though, okay, when I have say a bad day, I've been, telling my children off and yelling at my husband. Okay, I ain't perfect, and I think that's what I love to preach about is it doesn't matter where people are in their journey. Never ever pedestal someone. We all are humans and we all have bad times, and no one has their shit together. No one has their shit together 100% of the time. Like, it's just crazy for you to think that. So here's the thing though, right, is what I've learnt really fast is that when you are having a bad day and you have tried to journal your way out and you really just need to step back from what you're doing, you really need to make sure that you don't make any big decisions when you're in what I call a reactive day, where you're very reactive to things. And so when you react, you'll take the same action and you'll keep getting the same response. So you almost like bang heads with yourself, and you've got to stay in a responsive mode. So if you are having a bad day and you haven't been able to journal your way out, then you really should step away from your biz and step away from making any big decisions, because it's actually not your truth at the time. There's lots of reasons why you could be feeling that, but just bring that into the awareness. And I really wanted to talk into that about how often I might say to my client, yeah, I had a bad day too, and they're like, really, Nat, you have bad days? And it's like, seriously, at what stage have you decided that someone gets to a certain level, or just because I'm helping you or you see me in a certain way, that you've just decided that I don't have a bad day? That's a story you've created in your head to let yourself off the hook, to not continue to go for your success, okay? So I've had a little bit of butt kicking this week too with some of my clients, which I have to be honest, it's probably one of the least favourite things of mine to do. I know I'm very well known for a butt kicking and action taking. I actually, as I'm kicking your butt, I'm actually lovingly holding you, because sometimes it just doesn't feel good to say to someone, you know what, you know better than creating and making the negative momentum bigger. I'm not listening to your story anymore. It is to stop. We're going to come over here and we're going to start to spin a positive momentum, a positive vortex for you to jump into. So just a little bit of nuggets on me is that even though I'm a butt kicker, man, sometimes I don't want to have to do it, because I know that you're in pain, but I also know that if I don't just give you a little bit of a prod and a reminder that it's a choice to focus on all the shit that's not working. Yep, you can wallow just for a little bit. If you wallow too long, man, I'm going to get you out. I'm going to be yanking you out of the wallow pit, because the more you do that, your actions create a reaction, and it just alters everything, and all the work you've gone and put together and having a couple of really good months, and you just decide to sit in that quicksand for too long, we're going to head sideways fast. So that's a little bit about bad days, and kind of, everyone has them. So I also spoke to a client today. It was very, very cool, about the truth about transitioning. So I work with a different array of clients. I work with clients who are still in a day job and are perhaps working on their business, still in a day job, half part-time and part-time in their business. And then I work with women who have been in business for a couple of years, and surprisingly enough, women who have been in their business from 7 to 10 years. I work with them too because they'll often share the similar issues with women who are starting out. It's really, really interesting. It's the cycle of business. So the truth about transitioning when you're about to leave your job, or you want to go from 5 days to 4 days, or 4 days to all in, here's the truth, right? You must know that it's going to take a year, but a good 2 years before you are making a significant enough income to put back into the family. Yeah, man, you have to have some money in the bank. You either go get a loan, you either go just get some credit card, you either go and your husband has to work another part-time job, you have to work something out, you have to go and invest in your business. You cannot go in, you can't just go leave your job and go all in, brand new, and expect to be contributing back into your family, in a couple of months. It's just not going to happen. And when you have to build and drive from that lack, shit's going to hit the fan. You know why I know about this and why I'm so passionate and my finger's coming out to point and I'm coming right in the live is because that's what I did. I was in freaking La La Land. The online social media world, I blame myself because it was me who decided to do it. I transitioned out, but I went out with thinking that I was going to be making enough money in my business to contribute back to the family in 6 weeks, right? A bit of a high achiever. Here's the thing with online business is that if you're not known online and you go jumping online, there's a long game, there's a long strategy you got to do. There's networking, there's marketing, oh my gosh, there's so much in this business thing that if you're not ready for it and you have to build from lack, it's awful. So I burnt out at 6 weeks. I mean, I had run other people's businesses for years, run huge corporations. I never freaking burnt out. 6 weeks into my own biz, I was out, I was gone. I was like, I can't handle it. Because I thought I could just sit there with my list and ticking off the to-dos in the house and everything, and people would come. Well, that isn't how it works. So I then went into our savings, invested in myself, said to my husband, look, I think I've just got this completely wrong. We're going to be a couple of years before I'm going to be bringing in any significant coin into the household. What are we going to do? So I went into my savings, borrowed some money. I have been hustling. Literally, I hustled my face off. For those of you who don't know, my face actually paralyzed, half of it paralyzed. Back in January, I had got Bell's palsy. Anywho, I'm fine now. But it just meant that we had to really relook at what we were going to be doing. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping women transition, is because you have to have money in the bank. Do not kid yourself that if you're going to be working part-time in your business and you don't have any sales in yet, don't go and leave. Or if you do leave, you're going to have at least 50k in the bank. You're going to have a year up your sleeve somewhere, because when you build from the lack, all you scream out is, please buy my stuff. Please, please buy my stuff. And look, you can do it. I was actually able to bring in money within a year. But man, I'm a high energy person. If you're not someone who's high energy and who's confident about doing things your own way, then you could be a recipe for, killing yourself. So just be really aware of that when you're transitioning out. And also be aware, because the reason why I crashed and burnt is I believed a lot of what was online, that you could go online, build a funnel, and boom, you were going to have sales. What I didn't realize is I didn't have the money to put into all the funnel work and all the Facebook marketing work that goes into funnels, and I wasn't confident with what I was delivering. So you can sure as hell know that is what oozes out. That's what people could feel, right? Is they could feel this vibration out from me. So I really had to embark on a mindset journey. And thank gosh I found my coach at the time when I did, because I was able to spend all of that time fully immersed into 9 months of working on my mindset. And that is how I started making money, is from my full belief, my belief and my confidence that I could help people. So yeah, if you're transitioning from your job into your biz full time, get some freaking money in the bank first, because you're going to need it, because there's a long game and the short game with business, right? And it's not just about marketing, it's not just about strategy. It comes from your confidence and your belief. So, another thing that came out with a client this week is, if you have clients already and you want to go and run a challenge and you want to run a group and you want them to come into a group of some sort. Actually, have you noticed that I don't have a group? Interesting, right? I definitely am not a rule follower with that. I drive with my gut, or depending on how I run a business. For me, I love being part of groups. I'm not a part of a lot of groups because they take a lot of time. I actually have a paid membership. If you want to be in my tribe, then you put some skin in the game and you actually take some action and you come out with the results the other end. Anyway, that's the collective if you're interested. So, a client of mine's, has got some amazing clients of her own, and she's now going to do a challenge. And she said to me, Nat, I'm freaking out because they're going to come into this challenge and they're going to think this and they're going to think this. And I'm like, hang on a second, stop. Before you go and tell me the story, I've said to her, isn't it interesting how your head has now gone and said to you that you're not enough? She's like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, they're already buying from you. And now they're going to do a challenge with you in a group. And now all of a sudden you think you have to be and do more because you're not good enough. And I was like, they already love you. Why do you? But you can see how sneaky self-sabotage is that it comes to you and disguises itself quite differently, and tried to tell my client, self-sabotage, that she wasn't good enough yet. And so she had to kind of look at how she was going to be turning up, and I could really hear in her voice a little bit of the fear and a little bit of the self-doubt start creeping back in. And it's like, wow, it's not even about that, is it? It's about you're already enough, they already love you, and people want to be around you when you're confident. So I just want you to know that you already are enough, and as you step through into your business, it's always going to stay with you, that question of are you enough? That's my little ranty jump at you today. I always love to wrap up the week with what's been coming out for me, what's been coming out for my clients. But you do know it is self-sabotage is a parasite. It is though, Susie, right? And the thing with self-sabotage is it is a chameleon. It just disguises itself so well that it can sneak in. So, word on the street, no one has the shit together 100% of the time. You got to have the good you got to have the bad to have the good. Don't make huge decisions when you're in that weird space. Know that it's not your truth, and that the next day usually is much better than the frickin' last day you just had. Show up every day. Be consistent. If I could teach you anything out of my live videos, be consistent. Be yourself and be consistent. And obviously be solving a problem that's going to help someone. Unless you've got any question, peeps, I'm going to go. See you next week. See you on the flip side. If you're interested in joining my tribe, I'm really, really precious about my tribe, because they all show up to do the work and they actually get the work done. And it's a paid membership. If you're interested, private message me. Otherwise, you can jump on my website and have a look for the collective. But it really is only for action takers. It's for people who know what they need to do in their business. They're just not frickin' doing it because they, have a little bit of self-sabotage going on, or just get busy and just need to have some accountability and butt kicking. So, my girlfriends, see you later, and catch you on the flip side.